Welcome to another episode of Grease and the Dingo.
Oh my God. What
Couldn't
do you
help
mean, welcome to another episode, though? The stream is ending right now.
it. See you later, guys.
Bye, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed that brand new call that no one's ever heard before.
It was
So thank you. Thank you for coming out.
it was pretty awesome. I can't believe that Lorne said that. Like,
I know. I
it
know.
was
I can't
ridiculous.
either. Yeah.
For Christ's sake. Anyway, welcome. Thank you for being here. Tiffany's with me as always. We are going to have a bit of poetry tonight, yeah?
Yeah. Who,
Great.
who
Thanks for leaving
doesn't
me
like
hanging
poetry?
there.
I know. I had a little brain freeze. Yeah, who doesn't love poetry? And especially when it's shitty. That's my favorite kind.
That's the best kind of poetry,
Yeah.
especially if it only takes about 15 minutes to write. Because if it takes any longer
Yes,
than that, what's the point?
exactly. I agree.
How's the Australian accent going, by the way? Give us your best.
Mine?
Yeah. Give us your best g'day.
You're hearing it right now. Why are you asking? G'day, guys.
There you go. That's lovely.
There you go. Yeah.
We're gonna jump straight into it. So collective g'day to everyone. Thanks for being here. Some of the names in the chat are so fucking great.
I know.
I was having to laugh while the song was going on. Like, well done to you, with those awesome names. So, we are doing, we're delving into the Ramona therapist saga. Oh yeah, and of course, thanks to AsburyBrad for tonight's stream art. But yeah, so this is like part 4 of the Lorne Ramona therapist Sam call, which is like, this call is 5 hours. The whole saga is very long, so we will not be doing all of it. We're just going to go from about 50 minutes in and leading up to where the a vegan breakfast will await into that poll, and we're gonna have a bit of a sprinkling throughout of Lorne poetry as read by the magnificent Patrick Teacup Island. So should be pretty good.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to remembering how to use OBS. There we go. Look at that. So, without further ado,
This.
I don't
And
suppose I could work out, huh?
I'm sorry.
You don't suppose that
and so like I'm sure no one needs any context, but just in case you do, that this is a three-way call with Lorne and Ramona. I think in this saga, Bro joins a little bit later. A little bit later as well.
Bro. Yeah.
So
Everyone has a title, not a name, except for the therapist.
Barry.
Barry. I think the doctor had a name as well.
Did he?
Was it Dr. Smith?
Oh, that'd be funny if it
Why does that
was.
sound familiar? Somebody's going to know.
Yeah.
Please let me know.
Most likely George Glass. So,
Of course, George Class is going to know. Of course.
it's Glass.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I could work out, do you? Take my aggression out?
That you could work. I don't know. Can you work out?
That's what I did when I was incarcerated.
Uh huh.
But I
How does that
didn't
work?
going out.
That's
don't
an
you do-
interesting flex, you know.
exactly.
When I was in prison, for a crime that I didn't do, so just keep that in mind, okay? But when I was in prison, I worked out all the time.
I was ripped.
So.
Like, you have no idea. When I was in prison for trying to molest that kid, man, you should see me.
Well, we did
That-
hear in his journal that, well, it was the book that he was writing.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, that he could put his foot up to his head.
That'd be very handy, Lorne. So he's
Yeah,
obviously doing a lot of
definitely.
yoga.
Yes, he was doing yoga, and he was getting those legs right up there and looking all of the men directly in the eye, because that's what you have to do, right?
Exactly. I think that's how you survive in jail, from what I've heard. So,
Yes.
I bet you he was making eye contact while he was eating a banana too, because
He Right, exactly.
That is
Yeah.
one of the rules that you can never break. Never look another man in the eye
Mhm.
while you're eating a banana. Remember that, Lorne.
Instead of yelling at Ramona and calling her names and drinking and driving. Now.
I don't know. I don't do that now.
I knew
No,
he was
you
going to
yell
say
at-
that. I wouldn't even have to have heard this particular call to know he was going to say, I don't do that anymore, or I don't do that now. So
Yeah. I feel like you've heard that before.
I feel like, yeah, in a lot of other instances, he's going to say exactly the same thing, even if he did it 1 minute before.
That's right. Like, the past is the
Mhm.
past. We're
It
already...
is.
The past has already happened here, so he's
I know.
fine. Stop being so
Yeah.
mean to him.
I know.
Let Ramona.
Before
You don't do
I
what
did
now?
that,
You don't.
I'm not going to lie. Before I did have issues, it all revolved around the internet.
Yeah. But you're not on the internet anymore.
No, but I am still there. There's
What?
still a crap load of people that are obsessed with me for no reason.
What does that have to do with your... Lauren,
So his behaviour is down to the fact that he's just on the internet. Videos of him are on the internet, so he can't behave like a human.
That's right.
the topic of discussion is your actions. Why are we talking about people on the internet?
I've gone 2.5 years before without drinking.
Okay.
Was that when he was in prison, though? I don't think that counts.
No.
I never had a problem with it.
But clearly you do.
Before that, when I drank, I only went out one night a week on a Friday night, and I drank that night, and I didn't drink the rest of the week.
Lauren,
So I don't seem to have as much of a problem as what you seem to think I have. I don't have a problem quitting drinking.
then why do you keep having to do it? Over and over, you got to keep quitting because you keep starting. You got to have a contract with your girlfriend. Look, if I had a girl that I claimed to love, that I claimed to care about and have some interest in, and under the promise that she was going to come visit me if I stopped drinking for 3 months, motherfucker, I'd stop drinking for 3 months. I'd stop drinking for 3 years if that's what it took to see the woman that I claimed to love. But in your case, you guys have to draw up a contract, and you keep violating it.
And Mr. Therapist, the contract was violated again tonight, and Lauren doesn't think that I should push.
Tattletale.
She isn't. She's just sitting there. Mr. Therapist, Mr. Therapist. And Lorne has a lot of contracts in his life. He has his contract with Ramona, his contract with probation.
Yes, yep, and the contract with the class as well.
Exactly.
Back the 3 months, but this is what I had said to him, and I had said it many times, that when this is violated, I'm going to need to push it back because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm afraid of what Lauren could do to me. I'm a petite girl, and I'm afraid that he could do some harm to me if he happens to get drunk when he goes up there, or when I go up there.
And if I can be...
women, Lauren never has.
If I
I love third person Lorne.
I do too.
Lorne doesn't hit women.
Lorne mad.
Lorne smash. But he's got to go outside and hit stuff, so it's okay.
I know.
There's,
I even told Ramona that I would even bring her mother if it would make her feel safe.
Mr. Therapist,
first time for everything. I'm frankly skeptical as to how many times you've had the opportunity to hit a girlfriend. So I'm not sure that's a huge argument in your defense just to say you'd never hit a girlfriend. But regardless,
I don't even like hitting guys. Why would I want to hit a girl?
I don't. Well, because a guy can probably hurt you back. That's why I say you. That's why I'd say you'd be more inclined to hit a girl. That's safer for you.
No, not hardly.
You like that one, huh?
No, I'm more inclined to hit a wall.
Ramona, I
Mr.
want to
Therapist.
tell you something.
Okay, go ahead.
Something.
Yes.
What you just said is one of the most insightful things that you've said over the course of our professional relationship, and it frankly makes me hopeful because it sounds like you may be starting to see some of the things that I've been trying to help you see and that your mom and dad are so concerned about on your behalf.
And what is that?
That every time Lorne makes a mistake and violates this contract, you have to push the date back of your visit.
Thank you so much, Joey.
Yes, thank you. Do you want to read it, Tiff?
A berry call always makes me feel special. Precious CW3.
Well
and
done.
Precious Lockhart. Well, thank you so much, Joey.
Thanks, Joey. That's
really
amazing.
And
And that was great editing on the fly, by the way, with my name. Well done.
Right? Yeah.
do that, and neither do his probation.
Of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. This is thematic in his life. He wants to be able to make mistakes without having to pay for them. He wants to be able to violate the contract.
I want to be able to understand why things happen the way they do.
If you let me finish what I'm saying. Thank you. He wants to be able to violate the terms of your agreement and have the arrangement continue as though he didn't. He's living in a fantasy world. And if you want to know what I think you should do, I think you should push the date back indefinitely, which is to say, you might as well just assume it's never going to happen, that he's never going to make 3 months. But more importantly, that even if he did, it would still be a grave mistake. Yeah. This coming from a guy who asked you out to dinner. What the hell right do I have
a boyfriend
to criticize a guy for verbally abusing you and driving drunk? Because after all, I wanted to eat some dinner. So
isn't it funny you keep up bringing my faults that I did in the past that I haven't been doing?
Yeah, you know what, Ramona? Lorne might be an abusive pedophile that has ripped off old people, that has tried to molest multiple children, but he's not asking you out when he knows you have a boyfriend like this therapist. I mean, come on.
That is true.
Have some standards.
Some couth.
That's right. Needs more couth.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it funny that I keep bringing up your actions in the context of evaluating you?
But Mr. Therapist,
I'm addressing and fixing.
You're addressing and fixing.
I feel very encouraged that he does have this breathalyzer tool, and I feel like that could be something that keeps him from drinking. Because think about it like a weight loss surgery. I mean, if you
Ramona, just stop for a second. Stop for a second. Okay.
Yeah, she was talking.
Okay,
you don't like
Ramona.
What was that?
I said, speak when you're spoken to.
Exactly.
Ramona, yeah.
See,
Let Mr. Therapist mansplain.
See, now she's the one that needs more couth. The only one so far tonight that has adequate amounts of couth is Lorne, actually. Lorne does have couth.
When you talk, let her finish.
She was talking. Now I'm talking. That's because
She was talking to you. Interrupted her.
I'm counseling her. That's my method. I'm not counseling you, and you're not counseling me. That's the difference. So allow me to do my job, please. Thank you. And have another beer or whatever it is you're doing over there. Ramona,
trying to put me down again.
Ramona, let's visualize a worst case scenario here, just for the sake of me making this point, because it's important and I want you to grasp it with all clarity. Let's assume the worst and say that Lorne was physically violent toward you.
But he said he wouldn't be.
Well, I understand, but we're just being hypothetical now. Okay.
Okay.
Let's.
Thank you for saying that, at least.
Oh,
let's pretend that
he loved that. Thank you for saying that, at least. What a loser.
You and Lorne lived close to each other in the same town, and you saw each other physically, and he was physically violent, physically abusive, right? And so you made an arrangement where whenever you came to his house, he would put handcuffs on his hands, on his wrists, and shackles on his feet, and he would sit behind a plexiglass window, and that way he couldn't hurt you physically. He wouldn't be able to hit you and kick you anymore, right?
Anymore?
Yeah.
I'll let her hog tie you if she wants to.
Oh, I'm sorry. You must have thought I was done. I'm not done. Be quiet.
I didn't care if you were done or not. I had to call him.
Would you feel, Ramona, like he loved you and you were safe with him because he was being physically restrained from doing violence to you?
Yes.
Or would you look at the situation and say, well, the only reason he's not hitting me is because he can't. It's not because he's changed inside. It isn't because he realizes that he shouldn't hit me and now he values me as a person and he wants to treat me with the respect and the care that I'm due. It's just because he's locked up. He can't hit me. Now, the parallel I'm drawing, of course, is that if the only reason he doesn't drink anymore is because he has a breathalyzer that he has to report in 5 times a day or whatever it is, and he can't drink because they'll catch him, he'll go to jail, then he hasn't changed inside. He's still the same person with the same problems that he refuses to address, and you can believe that inside he's having a beer, if you understand what I mean. I want to tell you, I want to give you an illustration, okay? And it's an old joke that my grandpa used to tell me, and it said there's an Indian mother, and she had her little Indian child, and she kept telling him to sit down, and the little Indian boy kept standing up, and Mama kept saying, sit down, and the little Indian boy kept standing up. So finally the Mama got mad, and she walked over and put her hands on his shoulders and made him sit down and held him down. And the little Indian boy looked up at Mama and said, on the outside, boy's sitting down, but on the inside, still standing. And the point of that silly little joke is that if the
Lost on
only
Lorne.
reason Lorne stops doing the things that he shouldn't do is because some external force is making him, then he's still the same person on the inside. On the inside, he's still hitting you. On the inside, he's still drinking. He's still calling you names. He's still driving drunk. He's still raping little girls. He's still doing all the things that he would be doing if he could get away with
You're
it.
an asshole. You're an asshole to say stupid shit like that.
Yeah, you covered that earlier.
Would put people.
That's a really good comeback, I think.
You're an asshole? Yeah,
Yeah.
I use that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, and it works. I mean,
It does.
every time I say something to you, it's like you're an asshole. Like, oh, that's fair. Like,
Yeah.
you win again.
Yep, that's right.
But
I know.
Lorne's silence before, I think, was a real sign that he's taken all that in. Like, that was a contemplation, silence. Not that it's just completely gone over his head.
Right. So you think that he was really considering how that little lesson was something that he could apply to his life.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, how can I take this story of this child and apply it to myself going forward? And then Barry didn't let him do that because he had the dig about him being a pedophile. Like,
I know.
as if he doesn't already know.
That's not something a real therapist would say.
No, I'm starting to really, really doubt Barry's credentials here.
Yeah, I doubt he's even licensed.
No.
Yeah.
Pull down.
But Mr. Therapist, I have a question.
Mr. Therapist.
Okay, I have a question. Okay, so, I mean, obviously tonight there was an event that took place that triggered me to message you at an at an unusual time, but
No worries. You can call me or message me anytime you need.
Oh,
I'm
Lord
here.
would love that.
thank you so much. But like between yesterday and today, he wrote me 3 poems. Like, why would he do that and then violate my texting curfew? Why did he do that?
For the same reason that he probably thinks a Band-Aid will fix a burn. Because he thinks he can sweet-talk you, and then it's okay that he does those things.
Yeah,
Because he thinks if he rhymes a couple of words, then
had nothing to do with
he can violate the agreement that you guys have, show a complete lack of respect for you, and treat you like a second-rate person,
His phone
and like
line is
his
fucking
property.
awful tonight.
Because his feelings and his desires are the only things that matter. Because in the moment, if he wants to do something that he knows he shouldn't do, he figures, well, I'll just find some cheap little way of making it up to her later. Write her a poem. Or I'll say, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. That'll make it all better.
A poem, you
It
say?
had nothing to do with you hitting on her and constantly wanting to talk to her.
Well, I
So
do
it's a
do that,
therapist's
but
fault.
even
It is. It is the therapist's fault.
Yeah.
All of their problems is all because of the therapist. They were fine before the therapist came into the picture.
Mm-hmm.
They were great. Oh, thank you again, Joey. Who this time says the last time Lorne gave a good comeback was when he spit it back in Paul's mouth.
Wow.
Boom! Take that, Lorne.
Got him.
Roasted.
I did. Are you saying
Even
once
going into a
again,
personal
somebody's
level, which the
actions
therapist is
are the
not
cause
supposed to
of
do.
your mistakes and your transgressions? Do
But
you
Lord,
ever
this
take
is what
responsibility for anything you do?
Lord, how?
Do you?
I want to ask you a
Obviously
question
you don't.
because I did a little more reading, so I'd like to know who Betty is.
Ah.
Hold on. I want Lorne to explain that, but hold on. I want Lorne to explain that, but Lord, I want to read you the poem that you wrote to me today, and I want to know how you can write that poem to me today, and then act like this. I'm going to read what you wrote. I hope you don't mind my therapist hearing. I'm going to read it. You wrote
Please.
to me today, when at last we finally meet. When we get to the hotel room, I'm going to kiss your feet. I will then sing a song that I wrote just for you. Then we will make love the whole night through. In the morning when we wake, a vegan breakfast will await. Yeah, because I'm vegan. Once our breakfast settles and our
Thanks,
day
Ramona.
begins, I'll make love to you in the shower all over again. After we're dressed and out for a ride, I'll do my best to show you the time of your life. I love you, babe. Now, how could you write me that poem?
To be fair, ride and life don't really rhyme. It's very good.
Well, when you read it really fast, so it kind of all runs together, then it's fine.
I
You know.
suppose. And when you read it
Yeah.
the way Lorne would, with like he's got shit in his mouth, it probably does sound very similar. So
Yeah,
I
it's
take
good enough.
it back. Yeah.
And then act like this and violate my 10 o'clock thing and make me have to push it back, because if I don't, Lorne, you're going to keep stepping on me.
Before Lauren answers that question, I would just like to repeat the first part of the question. How could you write her that poem? I think I would have been less offended if you hadn't written me a poem like that. But anyway, we're not here to evaluate literature. I'm sorry. Lauren, please answer
That
her
sounds
question.
like a put down.
That was fairly uncalled for. Like that's just Barry's just getting in his punches.
He definitely is.
Okay, now can I read a letter?
I'm sure you can read a letter. Maybe. I'm reasonably sure you can read a letter. But if you want to try.
Ramona, I want to ask a new therapist. I was asking Ramona.
We're asking Ramona what?
Can I read this letter? This 9-page letter that got sent to me in the mail that I already read to you.
No, don't.
But why are you gonna read it again because Barry wasn't there? What do you think of this, Barry?
It would be pretty difficult to sit through Lorne reading a 9-page letter. Right?
That's right. I don't think he does read it, but I mean, this call would probably go for like 8
No, he
hours
doesn't.
if he read it.
Definitely, yeah. It's like when you hear him reading Taken Abroad.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like everything's mumbled, and it's not very good. But I mean, trying to get him to go through that. I mean, what is that supposed to say exactly? I mean, we don't know what the letter says. I don't think. But
I'm assuming there's like another one like Artsy Tiger wrote, where it's
like Artsy Tiger, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of explaining how people on the internet have been treating him badly.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Artsy Tiger.
I know.
Before we start again, thank you, Outdoor Loser. You want to take this one?
No.
Jesus. Fine. In my opinion, men can do better with women if they don't write them any poems. Thoughts? I mean...
I agree with that.
Oh, so you'll answer, you just won't read.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. I mean, certainly with the ones that Lorne's writing, just because they're all just based on rhyming two words together, at the end of the line. It's just all about that. I mean, it's better than what I could write. I know that.
I don't know about that. I think that's a big call. Have you tried to write one better?
I haven't tried. No, I don't have any interest in doing that. But
that's your homework.
I mean, I think. Oh my God, I'm not writing a poem. Jeez.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, it would be. I mean, just imagine getting poems like that. I don't know. What would you do?
It'd be awful. I do not want any poems like that. And I don't want to write.
Send him poems like that, everybody. You know his email. Yeah. We'll read him next time. That would be fun.
It would be. Actually, I take it back. Send me poems and send Tiffany poems. So at tiffany.lockhart at
yeah. Here, okay, I'm gonna put my email in the chat. So you guys, if you want to write a poem, I'd love to read it. We'll read them next time.
Fantastic. We're gonna have 2 poetry streams back to back. But thank you very much, Outdoor Loser.
Read him that. I don't want.
Why?
No, because
help him understand why my head is fucked up.
Lorne, your head has been fucked up before you got that letter.
Okay, let's hold on a second. Lorne, what letter is this? Who is this letter from?
It's a letter from somebody because I had told you, Mr. Therapist, about my phone getting hacked, and somebody had gotten into it and had.
Oh, this is another one of those letters.
Yeah, and had posted stuff about me and stuff about him on the internet.
Okay, Lorne, why don't you?
I found out that somebody had also hacked into my banking information. Lorne, I just found this out on Friday, so you don't know this. But I found out that somebody had hacked into my bank, and I had to get a charge of $275 taken off my credit card because of this bullshit. And how did that happen, Mr. Therapist? How did that happen? How did somebody affiliated with Lorne end up getting my information to hack into my phone? Oh, I'll tell you how. Because he goes on, because of his whole thing with a girl who he had tried to have sex with while he knew me, apparently, I think, either was or had a connection to some idiot in Canada who hacked my phone, tried to hack his phone several times, and hacked into one.
You know, I'm starting to wonder about these Canadians. I don't know about you Canadians.
One of his friends, well, the girl Ember's hacked into her YouTube channel.
I'm just joking, by the way. I don't want any, racist hate.
Well, they don't like Australia, so now what?
That's fine. I mean, I don't really either, so let's go for it.
Lorne, what do you know about this?
What do I know about it? I know what about the hacking. I know what Ramona told me.
Let me ask you, Ramona. I don't want to make you uncomfortable asking you this, but I'm just gonna.
Will you marry me?
I just need to know. So give it to me straight. Has Lorne ever asked you for money?
Okay, here's what happened.
Okay. She didn't say no.
How did Barry know? Like, this is crazy.
I will say, that I was very kind of like stand your groundish when it comes to him paying for me to come up to Maine. And I said, Lorne, I cannot, or no, I said, I will not, because he knows I have the money to fly to Maine hundreds of times. I said, but Lorne, I will not pay to do it. I will not pay to do it. Because my thing is, like, he doesn't have to pay for dates. He doesn't have to pay for dinners. He doesn't have to, he doesn't have to buy me birthday and Valentine's Day and Christmas and Easter. He doesn't have to do any of those things. So I said, okay, Lorne, I said, see if you can save $1,000, and that'll be enough to fly me up and back, to get a hotel, and, and to, like, do, like, different stuff in the area. Well, he got really angry. Me and my brother went to Niagara Falls in May, and he got extremely angry because, quote, how dare we go there instead of coming to Maine to see him? And I told him, I said, Lorne, I said...
Angry, I didn't understand.
Lorne, but I
was upset, but I weren't angry. I was upset because I didn't understand.
You yelled at her for taking a vacation with her family?
It was me and my brother, and he yelled at me, and this is what he did. He yelled at me about doing it. He said that I should have come to visit him. And I said, Lorne, you don't have the money for me to. And he said, well, you have the money. You could have lent the money to me. And I said, Lorne, you don't pay people back, and I'm not getting into that. And then I got cursed out. But then...
So you want Ramona to loan you money
no, you don't know,
so that you can wine and dine her.
Barry, listen for a second.
Ooh.
You don't know. You don't know the whole story. I'm being pressured by my probation officer.
I've heard that before. I don't know the whole story.
I'm being pressured by my probation officer.
Did you ask her for $1,000 to loan you $1,000 so that she could come visit you? Did that happen?
Okay, wait, before Lorne answers. Okay, we have Jennifer. Jennifer, thank you so much. Here's a little something to put toward a vegan pizza. Thank you, C3W and Tiffany. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Yeah.
I vegan is my favorite kind of pizza.
It is.
Here's the other thing, Mr. Therapist. I feel like because my whole trip was a source of contention between me and Lorne, because the night before I left, I had family over, I had friends over. It was kind of like, I don't want to say a goodbye, because, me and Bro were only gone for, like, about a week. But, it was like people were coming over, having dinner with us. We were just goofing off and whatnot. And I was not at my phone. And that's the thing that happens a lot of times, is that I'm not at my phone. So I wasn't at my phone. And I get all these messages. I'm trying to pack. I'm trying to get ready to leave. I had all these messages come through. Then the next day, I woke up and I had a bunch of messages and a bunch of nasty voicemails because Lorne had gotten drunk and he was angry that I was going away. And so what had happened was...
Yeah, but he can't control himself when he's drunk. You told him that, Ramona.
No.
What do you expect?
Yeah, you said that he can let himself go.
That's right. I can let myself go. Because he's usually so restrained. So, sometimes it's good to let the hair down.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you just have to let loose, and you have to have somebody there, right, who is going to be supportive no matter what, even if you're screaming, even if you're crying, screaming, even if you're leaving nasty messages. There's a reason for that, and really what it means is that Ramona should have been thinking about her own behavior and why was he doing all of that.
That's it. Like, he doesn't just do these things for no reason. Like, they're...
Right.
So look in the mirror, Ramona, before...
Ramona.
Bloody Ramona. Anyway.
Hand out more crap for put-downs.
More crap for put-downs. Speaking of Ramona, because Lorne isn't the only one that writes poetry. Ramona actually wrote a poem. Well, Lorne wrote a poem, but in from Ramona's perspective. So, do you want to hear it?
Yes, I'm intrigued.
1 pill, 2 pills, 3 pills, crap. Thankfully, they're not birth control pills. For 3 more months, I won't need that. Until that time is near, I will pay attention to Lorne with no fear and watch all he has to show. He says I'll be surprised. If I am, I'll lock his head up with my thighs and watch his manhood grow. I think of this now because I know somehow that he will not disappoint me again. He had his issues way back, but let's not think about that. Keep an open mind and give him a fair chance.
What's so funny?
It's just sorry. It's just like that is so long. like everything is him. Like, you know, I had some, like, he just waves away, like his jail stint, his pedophile past, as I've had some troubles in the past.
Oh yeah, I know.
but let's forget about that. Like, it's nothing.
It's too much to explain. You wouldn't be interested anyway. Yeah, I'm a better person now.
Oh, sorry, that was amazing. I mean, I've heard that so many times before, but that's still fucking awesome.
Yeah, I've heard that before too, and certainly hearing Patrick read it is amazing. So yeah.
That day, I had said to Lorne, I said, you know, you can call me and leave me voicemails. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to, like, respond back since it's just going to be me and my brother. It's not like I'm going to be able to say, okay, guys, you know, you talk amongst yourself. I'm going to run and, you know, call. I mean, it was literally going to be like a one-on-one thing. So I wasn't going to be able to do that, but I was able to text him, and I said, and I'd be able to listen to his voicemails and message him. Well, that wasn't good enough for him.
That's because he wants to possess you. This is all.
Here's the thing. But here's the thing. No, guys, let me talk.
I knew you were going to tell the truth about me. Stop that.
But then here's the thing.
Say something more stupid too.
Okay, Lord, stop. But then here's the thing. Okay, guys, boys, let me talk. Now,
Whoa.
as I was saying, so then he had messaged me all these nasty things. And then the next day, I'm trying to do my expense reports and stuff for work. And he's messaging me still. He's fussing at me, talking about how I fucked the doctor. You fucked horse stink. You fucked the doctor. I mean, and I'm like, no, I didn't. I said he was here. He was playing video games with bro. I was talking to his sister. I mean, it was none of that. So I said, well, since you acted like this, I said, do not contact me while I'm away. I said, I will contact you when I get back. So he didn't contact me when he got away, or when I went away. Friday comes, and I get back on Friday. We left on Saturday. We got back on Friday morning. I called him Friday. I talked to him for 6 hours on Friday. And then on Monday, and then I talked to him briefly, very, very briefly on Saturday. And then on Monday, I got cursed out because I talked to him for like an hour or two, and then I talked to a friend of mine who lives in Texas. I talked to her for 3 hours, and I got cursed out about that. And what can I do to make him stop? How do I make him stop this behavior?
Break up with him and block his number.
Boom. There you go.
See,
this is why Barry makes the big bucks. Like, that is perfect advice.
I know. Yeah.
This coming from a guy that's getting a divorce and asked my girlfriend out to dinner already when he knows that she has a boyfriend.
It's like the one criticism he can have of Barry is that he asked his girlfriend out to dinner. Like, I mean, I guess which is a dick move, but that's all he's got.
It's actually all that he has, yeah. That he's being unprofessional because Allie would never say anything like that. He's been dreaming of Allie asking him out, and that's never happened.
I mean, you should have seen Ellie's face when he told her. Shocked.
Yeah.
She was shook.
Just absolute shock.
To a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, please get away from me. Go back to your chair.
Yeah. Stop looking at me. This is weird.
I've already explained to you 7 or 8 times.
I don't want another poem.
The dinner is platonic, and the divorce is none of your damn business. What you do to my patient is absolutely my business, because my patient is my business, and Ramona's my patient. And more than that, Ramona's my friend. So,
I can talk loud too, you know.
My friend, what you do to her is my business. Yeah, I know you can talk loud too.
The problem is that you're wanting more than a friend, because you've already told them, let's see what happens down the road.
They are very loud noises. Are you done?
Are you done?
No, not at all. Not even close. I've been holding back.
The problem is you like to talk.
You ready to go full bore?
Not all the stuff you say is very smart, though.
No.
Yeah, what's not smart? What have I said that's not? You know what? Don't answer that. Ramona.
I don't have to answer. You already let us say that's all smart.
Well, that made sense. Ramona, one of the things that makes Lorne such a danger to you and anybody, but relevant to the discussion here to you, is that he's super possessive. He sees you as his property, and he wants to be able to control you. It's one of the reasons why he's attracted to young children, because
but
children are manipulated.
He's changing.
Well, sure.
Punch him out. He has some stupid comments.
I don't know if it's changing or not. I don't hear him doing
Tuesday, I'm going to take you and see my therapist. You know what a real therapist is supposed to act like.
Whether he's changing or not is...
Did he say on Tuesday I'm going to take you to see my therapist?
Yeah.
Immaterial.
On the phone, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to take you to see her on the phone.
Yeah.
A long-term psychological issue that he has. It's not something that's going to stop overnight. It's something that is probably going to require years of intensive mental health work on his part. And the root issue here, Ramona, is that you don't need to be an accessory to all this. This is so far beneath you that I don't know how you can even see it. You've got to get away from this.
Guy that is asking the girlfriend out to dinner.
And what you need to do is find friends that will ask you out to dinner, because I think that having someone who will ask you out to dinner is preferable to having someone who will call you a fucking bitch. Now, I don't know
that's fair.
What percentage of the population would prefer to be taken to dinner or called a fucking bitch on the phone, but my guess is that most self-respecting women would prefer the former. And I'm hoping that you're in that camp, because that's what you deserve.
Respect her.
I don't respect her. In what way don't I respect? This should be good.
You calling her boyfriend a loser?
Yeah, well...
Ever calls any other do that. Any client...
You're putting her boyfriend down. You don't respect
her.
Calling her boyfriend a loser.
You're hurting her. Right. That hurts Ramona. Don't.
Absolutely.
Don't say that thing. Yeah.
No, you know, it's... They're a team, you know. You hurt Lorne, you hurt Ramona. Vice versa.
Yeah.
Lorne, if she had cancer, I would call it cancer. If she had cancer, I would call it cancer.
I don't have cancer, I'm not a loser.
Well, I didn't say you had cancer, but I applaud your inability to follow a personality.
I have so much more talent than you. I could make a lot more money than you ever could dream of. So
why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? The difference is one of us is making the money. Why don't you make the money?
Well,
why am I out here making it?
Speaking of talent, you know, I want to present some evidence for Lorne to Barry. Like, I mean, this is talent.
It took some time to get this loan through, with the hassle along the way and the things we had to do. It was a complete pain in the ass for this, there is no doubt. I stressed so much along the way, I wanted to pull my hair out. For you remain committed and help me calm my fears. For this, I will do business with the company again in only a couple of years. If your higher-ups will pay attention to this letter, they will see this customer is true. For the reason they will keep me as a customer is because of the dedication from you.
Could you imagine?
Like, that is crazy. Like, when that first appeared, I was like, this is like Lorne didn't write this. Like, this is someone pretending.
Right.
Written this. Like, that is ridiculous even for Lorne.
It is ridiculous. I wonder what the scammer thought. They must have thought, we have never dealt with anybody like this before. I don't even know what to do.
No. and the question it also poses is how many other people are getting poems? Like who else does he send poems to that we don't know about? Like, just like Walmart people, fucking just everyone. Just like if you come in contact with Lorne, I reckon you get a poem.
Yeah, I think he's written a lot of poems. So it's kind of like the way that he thinks that his singing is the way into a woman's heart.
Mm-hmm.
It's writing poems as well.
Definitely. I mean, they're spoken songs, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Beautiful.
Why don't you make it?
You make as much money in Maine as you can down the
don't have
state.
I always forget that they don't have money.
And they obviously give a license to anybody down there to do therapy.
Yeah, well, they pay you good here once you get a license.
Do you eat Lucky Charms?
Do you eat Lucky Charms?
Sure,
Mr. Therapist,
This is a setup. Lorne's about to tell a joke.
You got out of the box, huh?
Mr. Therapist, you got your...
Oh, wow.
I wish I had the the little drum kit set up like the boom ching, like that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Degree from...
I get the joke, but did you hear the way he fucked it up? He said, "Do you eat Lucky Charms? I'm surprised you got out of the box." So I was in the Lucky Charms box.
I said that's the pride to get out of the box.
Just the pride.
Right.
That's better.
You get
at least hey man, at least I can afford a box of Lucky Charms. Well, look, maybe your girlfriend will look for one, and you can get one too.
I don't eat Lucky Charms. I'm not a kid like you.
Ooh.
What kind of kid are you? No, you're not a kid like me.
This is great banter. Like we're very privileged to hear this.
I know.
I'm a kid. Well, I better be careful. You might try to have sex with me.
You sound like a kid.
Ooh.
Oh, well, you're a boy though. So you're
at least I don't fuck like that. Then I'd be in trouble. Now, as I was saying,
next move.
Ramona, this pattern of behavior is never going to change. He's not going to get better, and you're not obligated to wait around in the off chance that someday he decides to try to.
This is coming from a guy that's wanting to take you out.
Yeah, you said that, Seven. This is coming from... Now, remember, Ramona, this is coming from a guy who wants to eat dinner, so it may not be entirely trustworthy. I don't know how you feel about guys who like to eat dinner. Maybe I'm not reputable because I like to eat dinner. I don't...
vegan dinner.
I know.
Maybe Lorne is jealous because I can afford to eat dinner. I don't know.
But he said that he once told me before that he could love me more than any other guy would.
Yeah, well, he told you that he could go 3 weeks without drinking too, didn't he? He told you that, right?
Well, I don't know.
I haven't seen that yet.
Away from it.
Look, Ramona, listen. Okay, are you listening?
I am.
Ramona, I can love you more than any other man ever will. Now, do you see how easy that is? It's just words. It's just words. Anybody can say it. What the fuck are you doing if not trying to hit on her? You're trying to convince her that you can do all these things, that you can be this person, you can overcome all these issues, you can make 10 times as much money as me, but you're not doing any of it. It's just talk. It's just talk.
You know the problem. Let me tell you what the problem is. I need to know that I'm not being fucked with again.
Well, I don't know what
I feel like I'm being fucked with.
Oh, so that's why he
What do you
can't
mean
make
being
money.
Exactly. Until he can be sure he's not getting fucked with again, he cannot earn a cent.
Okay. Wow.
Makes complete
It's having
sense.
more of an impact than I ever thought.
Exactly.
Right?
You know. I mean, how can he be expected to? So, he's going to get a job, and they'll be like, when can you start? And he'll say, as soon as I'm sure I'm not getting fucked with. Like, well, can you do that by Monday? We'll see.
Right.
The ball's in everyone else's court.
Oh my God.
By Ramona?
I'm not going to read the letter to you.
Oh,
I don't want me to read it. I'm not going to read it.
Oh, he's punishing.
Okay. Well, I don't know what any of that means, but I will say this.
He's been saying he's been saying for the whole time that we've known each other that, and I don't want to say that he uses it as an excuse, but I mean, just like I'm drawn to vegan marshmallows from Trader Joe's, he's drawn to that, like, excuse that his past shapes the reality of how he's being abusive. And
well, he's right in a way. His past is an indicator. I mean, past behavior is an indicator of future behavior. What he's tended to do in the past is most likely what he'll continue to do in the present and onward. That's one of the reasons why I'm so concerned about you, because if he's shown a pattern of abusive behavior, a pattern of alcohol abuse, a pattern of pedophilia, we haven't even I had to tell the truth again. I'm sorry. I know that bothers you. I know that bothers you.
It does bother me. It bothers me.
I tell the truth. Sure. Hey,
well,
man.
It bothers everyone. But
yeah.
But I thought Ramona got him out of patterns. So what is Barry talking about here? Like, she got him out of all those patterns.
She got him out of a lot of them, too.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what they are, but she did.
I don't think Barry's as informed here as he thinks he is.
I don't think so either. I think Barry is trying to show off in front of Ramona. That's what I think.
Yep. By putting Lorne down.
Yeah, because he's trying to lift himself up.
That someone should put that on a shirt. That's
people told the truth on me, that would bother the hell out of me too, I guess.
It's not a matter of I'm telling the truth. It's a matter of I have to deal with it every day in my own head, and that bothers me.
That's because it's part of who you are. Yeah, you have to deal with who you are.
It's not part of who I am. It's part of what I do.
It is. Yeah, well, what you did is an outworking of who you are. What we do is an outworking of who we are. Our actions are reflections of our inner selves. So if it's what you do, that means it's who you are. It's an extension of who you are. It's a practical outworking of who you are.
The
manifestation.
That's not who I am.
But you did it. What do you mean?
When my head was not fucked up before, I was
Lorne,
calm. I didn't get mad at anything.
See, this is why.
Lorne never got mad before.
No.
Wow. Okay.
It must have been shocking the first time it happened. Like, what is this feeling? I'm going to write a poem about it.
Yeah.
My first time by Lorne Armstrong.
Oh, man.
So, speaking of poems, do you want to hear the poem that Lorne wrote for Winnie moments before Rhoda died?
Yes.
Lovely. That's good. I'm glad you said yes, or else I would look really stupid.
Our love. From the day we met, I knew you were special. Even with the circumstance, I was ready to settle. We've been inseparable, even with the fights we've had.
Been ready to settle since the fucking 8th grade.
But when we think about being without each other, we realize our fates weren't all that bad. I've always hated myself for being unable to protect you from harm. And I've always begged God for the day when I could hold you in my arms. I believe without a doubt that you and I were meant to be. Because I've never had anyone that did so much to make me feel like I needed them, and they needed me. The way you've touched me is like no other ever could. The other times made me so mad, and it hurts. But then at the same time, made me feel so good. I told you a long time ago that we'd be together forever. I will keep that promise, because one day we will be in heaven together. I love you forever, baby.
Is there going to be like a murder-suicide or something? Is that what he's trying to
I think that's his subtle way of suggesting we go murder-suicide.
I see. Okay, so there's going to be a pact.
Exactly.
Okay.
He's already got the 8 Tolan already. He's good to go. So.
Oh my gosh.
Well, but seeing they're so far, the scene like they're apart, it would have to be a suicide.
True. Yeah, because they're never going to be together. Yeah, I see what you mean.
And the missing last line there was, "I'm gonna send you my dick in a photo. Sorry that I killed Rhoda." I mean that was the way it ended apparently. According to me.
I mean, according to you, okay.
Mad at me.
Well, he wouldn't be very happy to hear that.
No, it'd be disappointing.
Because he didn't kill Rhoda, so.
No, I mean that probably if he heard that, it'd probably make him angry for like the second time.
It would make him very
in his
angry.
Life.
Yeah. Once you get angry once, it happens all the time.
It's like a tap. Yeah, turn on the anger tap.
That's right.
Because I talk about this, but this is the problem, Lorne. You keep wanting to deflect responsibility for your actions, or you want to say like the cause of your actions exists outside you. It's something else, right? Like, oh, it's not that I wanted to go rape a child. It's that I was fucked up in the head because people did me wrong. And that just doesn't fly. That excuse doesn't work. For a number of reasons.
The problem is
I'm not the only one who needs to prove things.
But, I mean...
In this context, you absolutely need to prove yourself. You're trying to convince this girl to make you the most significant part of her life. You damn right you need to prove your claims. And thus far you failed.
What's disturbing to me is this, and let me say this. What's disturbing to me is, I understand that he had done some work, or he had lent one of his siblings some money, and they were supposed to pay him back with macaroni and cheese, and he didn't get it, and it really fucked him up. And
yeah, you mentioned that the other night to me, and that was after Lorne had hung up, so it was just you and I on the phone. But
exactly, pillows. Just the pillow talk we had, Ramona. That's all right, isn't it, Lorne? We weren't eating. Like there was no food involved. So
there was no dinner. Yeah.
You and me, but Lorne.
Let me tell you that story so you fully understand it.
Okay.
Please.
I spent $700 on my sister, on my sister's house.
Yeah.
Insulation and sheetrock up.
Did you say 1,000?
700.
700.
Yeah, this is definitely time for this story. Like, I think it was this or Amanda James' story. Like, this will win Barry over.
Yeah, that's the problem right now, is that Barry doesn't know the story.
No, so he can't understand. But once he hears this, it's all going to make sense. Which, that's pretty much the rest of this call is Barry apologising and admonishing Ramona for being such a bitch to him.
Yeah.
Okay, $700. Okay.
I spent $700 on insulation and sheetrock and brought my crew up there and put that all up in our living room for her.
Okay.
I told her it's a Christmas present. In return, if you want to give me a Christmas present, make me some macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
For my brother. I went up to his house and put skirting around his trailer and insulated his trailer and brought my crew up there to do it. Spent $700 up there.
It's always $700.
And that's a Christmas present. If you want to give me a Christmas present back, have your wife make me some deviled eggs.
Okay.
My other brother, I gave $425 to him for heating oil. So that's a Christmas present.
But on previous tellings of that, I am positive it's been $700 worth of heating oil. Like, he's diminishing the value now for some reason. Maybe like this is like heating oil currency. Like, the stocks have gone down in heating oil apparently.
Right.
It's all the same Christmas. So that's a Christmas present. If you want to give me a Christmas present back, then make me some meatballs that you and your wife makes. I never saw the meatballs, I never saw the deviled eggs, and I never saw the macaroni and cheese. So the following year, my sister needed $500 to get her Christmas present. So I gave her $500 and told her, give me the macaroni and cheese again, just don't make it take another year. Well, to this day, I still haven't seen the macaroni and cheese.
Oh man.
So
this is like 3 years worth of that shit. That type of shit.
So you're saying that none of them ever came through for you?
Never. Literally never.
Oh.
And it wasn't just them. It was also my best friend, too. But my best friend was the only one that apologized.
Listen,
there was like 10 different people that I did all this for.
I got to be honest. I didn't know any of that stuff. Geez, I think.
Barry's sincere right now.
He sure does.
I had $60,000 in my house, and I sold it for $8,000 and moved to Nashville, and that's when that happened. My head was all fucked up.
No, I don't know. I mean, honestly,
and Lorne is like so like buoyed by this. Like he's actually believing this the first time someone is. keep pouring it on.
I think if I'd have been in that situation.
Have I told you about Amanda James?
I mean, I probably would have gone and tried to rape a little girl or something.
Oh God.
Ramona, now's not the time.
That hasn't no.
Exactly.
Okay.
I hope you get my point, Lorne. I'm sorry you didn't get your meatballs.
He definitely didn't get your point, Barry.
Listen, I did not want to go to that house, okay? I said the things I said, and I did what I did. But I still did not want to go to that house. To this day, I don't understand.
Then why did you go? Hold on. Okay, let's focus on that. Let's take a minute. You didn't want to go to the house. You didn't want to go to the house. How far was that drive?
The drive was an hour away.
Hour away. You stopped and got gas on the way?
No, I already had gas.
You already had gas. You drove an hour to go to a place you didn't want to go. Why did you do that?
Still don't understand to this day.
You don't understand this. I'm supposed to believe that you drove an hour. Yeah,
you can believe whatever you want.
Thank you for the permission.
I know what I did. I know what I did wrong. I know what I did was wrong.
Yeah, that's fine, Lorne. But when you say you didn't want to go to the house, I mean, do you not understand that the reasonable question there is to ask why you went to the house if you didn't want to go?
I still ask myself that question to this day.
Well, as a professional mental health healer, perhaps I can offer some insight when I suggest that you might entertain the notion at some point in your struggle to understand that perhaps you did want to go to that, even though you don't want to admit to yourself that you did want to go to that. Because all of the available evidence seems to indicate that you did, in fact, want to go to that house.
It's a good point.
So maybe it's you who doesn't understand how to interpret the data that's available. You seem to want to look at all the available evidence to the contrary and maintain that in spite of it all, you know that you didn't want to go to that house. Now, I want to point something out because, as you know, I've spent some time studying your case, and one of the claims that you've made frequently is that you didn't bring the condoms because you intended to have sex with the girl.
Okay, that's not therapy on me. You're not my therapist, remember?
Oh.
Barry, do you need to hear the mac and cheese story again? Like, I don't think you got it. I thought he did it first, but
I did too. Yeah, I mean, Lorne tells an amazing story.
Yeah, and it's just gone completely over Barry's head.
It has, yeah. So I think that he does need to hear it, and you can talk about Amanda James too.
Yeah, don't leave her out.
Or the basketball team. What about the basketball team?
Well, that's it, because it's collective pain. Like, one of these things would be more than enough, but when you put them all together, it's you know, it's a miracle he hasn't tried to rape 100 kids.
I know.
Oh, I don't blame you for wanting to stop.
Well, I've said about this before.
I talked about this stuff in my therapist anyway, so.
I mean, it's like buying soap and you don't plan to take a shower. I mean, it's like, you buy condoms for a reason.
Hey, Ramona, we're not talking about this anymore. He doesn't have to talk about this. getting a little too hot in the kitchen. You don't have to talk about this.
How do I know this isn't going to wind up on the internet?
I don't know. I mean, what does that have? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you on that. I understand you're being concerned about that, but I can't help you there. I don't have any, you know.
I don't think you understand how concerned I am about this stuff.
That's fine, but Lorne.
You ain't kidding, because I'm really sick of that shit too. And, you know, Lorne, I know partially I blame you for the infidelity thing, but that's another story. That, you know, how that keeps happening.
You ain't shit neither. But Lorne, you have to understand that from my perspective, all of this is essential, and I can't just let this stuff go because I'm trying to counsel my client here in how she should operate in this situation to her best interest. I'm not concerned with you. I'm not trying to offend you when I say that. I'm just being honest with you, okay? I don't care about hurting your feelings. I don't have any obligations to you professionally in terms of what I can and can't say to you. That's why I'm being a lot more forthright with you than you're probably used to hearing. Aggressive. You can call it aggression if you like. Sometimes aggression is necessary. Not when you're talking to your girlfriend and you're pissed off at her, by the way. For future reference, you might put that in your back pocket so that you don't make that mistake the next time. But there are times
something for you to put in your back pocket is I'm also dealing with my probation officer, my counseling class that I have to go to, and my therapist.
Lorne, but I want you to hear something, okay? You present your therapist with this, okay? I'm someone who, as you know, I don't drink. I don't drink beer. I don't drink wine. I don't drink anything like that, or smoke or anything like that. And I ask you not to do something that she is trying to get you not to do. And I asked you to do it for 3 months so that I feel comfortable enough to come visit you. And, you know, and my thing is that if for 3 months you can't not message me after 10, you can't not drink, you can't not call me names and basically do all these injustices to me, how am I supposed to feel comfortable to visit you? And that's what I'm saying to my therapist, which is, you know, I have no problem visiting you. That's something that would be interesting, but it's like I can't get 3 months of
exactly what Lorne wanted to hear. Not like I'm really looking forward to it. I hope we can work it out. That would be interesting.
It would be better.
I know.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to 3 months.
You haven't even gotten to 3 weeks yet.
I mean, and I can't argue with that.
How am I supposed to feel comfortable knowing that you keep pushing it back?
Lorne, but listen, I told you.
No, wait. Let me jump in here for a second because he just said something very telling. Ramona, he said something very telling, and you need to pay attention to what he said. Don't let that slip because what he said was, how am I supposed to feel comfortable?
I think they need a hands-up system. Pity they weren't on Teams or something at the moment. You can put your hand up and it's like, oh, Lord.
Right. Yep. Lorne, it's Lorne's turn. Everyone mute.
When you keep pushing that date back, how am I supposed to feel comfortable? Ramona, do you see what's important here? Lorne needs to feel comfortable. Don't push the date back because then Lorne doesn't feel comfortable. How am I supposed to feel comfortable? Isn't my comfort your primary concern? And if it's not, why not? That's what he's really saying here.
I get to see what my therapist is saying.
Forget your comfort. Whether or not you're...
My therapist is a female.
If you're comfortable with the premise of going...
Your therapist could be a dingleberry for all I care, Lorne. The fact of the matter is that I've asked you not to do these things, and you keep violating them, and my therapist is right. We can't even get to 3 weeks without...
Ramona, I told you about Vanessa Ann Lee Parker from New York. She was supposed to come up 7 different times and never did.
Okay, Lorne, you haven't even given...
See, he needed to say this earlier. I think he's lost the momentum on this now. Like, he needed to put that all together, straight from the meatballs into Amanda James and then Vanessa and Lee Parker.
Yeah.
And George, I did see that Tiffany was being mean to you earlier, but unfortunately, I always side with Tiffany, so I can't help you out with this one. But it didn't go unnoticed.
Give yourself one chance.
You laughed about it.
I asked you, do not commit any injustice over the next 3 months, and I gave you a list. I gave you.
My therapist keeps saying, why wouldn't you want to go up there, come up and meet you, so that way you both know you both are for real.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go for a little bit longer, but we have time for one more poem. So,
excellent.
It's your pick. It's either a collection of Ramona poems, a collection of poems for Kayla, or from Will to Winnie featuring Lorne, which I haven't listened to actually. So,
well, then let's listen to that.
All right.
From Will to Winnie.
So Lorne ghost wrote this apparently.
You are my heart. You are my soul. You are my love that makes me whole. You are my space. You are my world. You're all I want in my life. You are my girl. From the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. You're all I care about. And all my heart can see. So even if I mess up, please don't ever go astray. Your love will straighten me out, and my heart will only turn your way. I love you, Winnie. Love, Will.
And Will is underscored 3 times for some reason. Beautiful.
Well, he needs to make sure that's emphasized. It's definitely from Will, not from Lorne.
Which I did laugh about that, but that makes sense because you probably would have read that and thought this is from Lorne. But no, it's not.
It's kind of like when Will and Jamie were in the hospital.
Yes.
Right? And it got a little bit messy because when Will had amnesia, he thought that he proposed to Jamie himself, not on Lorne's behalf, which is what it was supposed to be.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you have to make sure that if you're doing something on behalf of someone else, in particular, dude, you know, you have to make sure that it's clear who it's from.
Definitely. You can get yourself into a lot of trouble.
You really can, yeah.
Lorne, I have to ask you this, okay? And I'm very serious. If your therapist, think about this, okay? Because I'm not trying to cut you. I'm not trying to tear you apart. I'm trying to gauge. I'm trying to give you a parallel. If your therapist had a daughter, had a sister, had a cousin, had a niece, had an aunt, a best friend who was dating a registered sex offender who lived hundreds of miles away, and she knew that that guy had gotten drunk on several occasions and verbally abused her. And Lord, I don't even go as far as to say this, okay? The abuse that you have been as humanly possibly abusive as you can be given the circumstances. The circumstances allow for texting abuse. You've done that. The circumstances allow for phone abuse, like calling me repeatedly. You've done that. The circumstances allow for verbal abuse. You've done that. You've done every type of abuse that you could possibly do. And you tell me that I should just be moist and ready to come up and visit you in light of all that.
Yeah,
you can ask my therapist on Tuesday. I'm gonna tell you while I'm in there with her.
It's not like her requirements are grievous, Lorne. It would be easy for you to stand firm on these things, but you've been as firm as a plate of chorizo. And surely, objectively, you can distance yourself from the situation enough to recognize why that would cause anybody to have second thoughts, deep misgivings about the long-term viability of this arrangement.
Okay, so...
And I do think your therapist is a goober, and you know why, but that's besides the point.
So it always has to be put in my head that all these guys at my girlfriend's meetings could be models and underwear models.
What? The hell are you talking about?
I think, Mr. Therapist, I think I told him, or I can't remember if you were on the phone, if I told you, or if I said that you look like you could be an underwear model, and you do. I mean, you do.
Oh, well. That's...
But, yeah, nice job, Ramona.
That's okay. That's very flattering. I appreciate that, but you're making me feel like a goober over here.
Good job flattering the married guy that asked you out to dinner.
You're making me feel like a goober. Listen, none of that is Lorne, I need you to understand what my motivation was in extending an invitation of friendship to Ramona. Okay? Because I believe, and I know that you don't want to hear this, but I believe that she needs to terminate her relationship with you. I think you're a dangerous individual. I think you're bad for her. Now, I understand.
I think you're full of shit because you don't know me.
Now, could he change?
It's not probable.
But, okay, hold on, wait. So, wait. But here's, like, I mean, I just feel like his therapist, she gave, or not therapist, his probation officer, she gave him the breathalyzer. He has a breathalyzer, so now we know he's not going to be drinking. And once he gets into the habit of not drinking, won't he stop?
I can't tell you what the future is. I can't say that he didn't. What I can say is that the thing that makes me anxious about that the premise you're suggesting is that the chances that any change that Lorne makes would be anything more than superficial, surface change, outward change. You know, you and I have done so much talking about the difference between change in external behavior and a real root change, a change in the internal disposition, and that's what I'm concerned with. Okay, the only way that Lorne would ever be a viable candidate for a relationship with an average woman, much less someone like you, is if there were radical shifts in his internal position. And that's something that's only going to come from months, if not years, of hard, diligent, studious work on his part and the part of multiple mental health professionals. But none of that can even begin to take place until Lorne begins to take responsibility for who and what he has chosen to be. And that's what he's failed to do as far as I can see his entire adult life, certainly in the span of time you've known him.
It's amazing.
And we're witnessing it here tonight. He can't even let me finish the sentence. He can't even let me finish the thought. He's got to chime in.
Because you don't know me. Don't pretend like you know me because you don't.
Lorne, why don't you tell us about Betty? Ramona, do you know who Betty is?
Ramona already knows about Betty. I don't need to tell you about Betty. I know all about Betty.
So you know that, yeah, I know you were there.
Exactly what happened. You don't.
You were there.
You don't need to know.
Betty was there. You were there, Betty was there, and Betty's $30,000 were there. And then Betty was there, and you and the $30,000 were gone.
Mr.
You don't need to know.
The thing that, you know, and I'll say this because ever since I came to know him and I did a little bit of research into things that he had went through, I found that he owes a substantial amount of money to an elderly lady, and Lorne, I have to say, you know, one thing that upset me that he said, you know, was I've always been an advocate for him to pay her, and when he had a job and when he was working, I would try to get him to send money here and there to her. As his finances would enable. And I had said to him one day you've got to pay her. And he said, well, she can wait. I have bills. And I said, well, she's probably in, she's probably in poor, because he was saying, well, she won't shut her mouth. She's going online all day, talking about me and saying mean things about me. And I said, well, Lorne, I said, she's probably stressed out because you owe her a lot of money. And I said that she's probably, she's probably, like, feeling hardships, financial hardships, because you owe her so much money. And he said, quote, well, that bitch can get a job. There's nothing wrong with her. And I thought that was wrong to say that about an elderly lady.
Oh, listen, that's
Gary?
Absolutely.
Mr. Therapist?
Like Xanadu.
Oh, you cut out. Say that again.
I said, I don't remember what I said. Oh, we were talking about the money. Yeah, I mean, that's nuts, accurately speaking. And frankly, the notion that Lorne would ever pay that money back, if you believe that, you're living in Xanadu or Elysium or some other fantastic...
Well, I mean, she got paid in entertainment and laughs, so,
Yeah.
I think it's all good, right?
I mean, according to him, it is. He has to make some kind of an excuse fit so that he doesn't have to pay.
Exactly, yeah. Like, Vanessa Ann Lee Parker isn't going to take you. You need something else as well.
Yeah.
We might leave the call there because it kind of continues on from there for a long time. But I do want to finish with one more poem. So,
okay,
Ramona or Kayla?
Well, we're doing a Ramona call, so let's finish it off with Ramona.
Sounds good. I might change the screen this time.
Thank you.
Don't kill me.
When at last we finally meet, when we get to the hotel room, I'm gonna kiss your feet.
Oh, I've already done.
I will then sing a song.
Hang on.
Once our breakfast, after we're dressed and out. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray that Ramona's heart I keep. Of all the women that I've been in my life, she's the only one I dream of each and every night. In most of these dreams, I'm kissing the hand, then I'm looking up to kiss her lips again. For 9 awesome months, she's been honest and true. Now all I care about is being the same to her too. She takes my breath away with just the sound of her voice. So to fall in love with her, my heart had no choice. When she shot me with her arrow, she must have used Cupid the sniper. But that's okay now, because I get to change a diaper. Where oh where in the world is my chair?
I mean, diaper is a hard word to rhyme.
It is. It is.
I need to get myself around. I'm on my bed where I rest my head. Without it, I can't even get down. Well, oh hell, I really need a bell. So bro, can you bring it to me? While I'm this groggy, my throat is so froggy. I really need a drink that's soothing. I just let her yell, now I'm dizzy as hell. But damn, this just isn't fun. How can this be? Now I have to pee. In my diaper? Oh shit, I don't have one on. Only on my phone, is bro even home? Jeez, I hope.
This is another from Ramona's perspective poem. It took me halfway through the poem to work out what's going on.
Hope he is. What will I do if I suddenly have to poop? Don't think that it's bad enough I have to piss. But dear oh dear, my phone isn't here. Where in the world did it go? My private area is getting fatter from the fullness of my bladder. It's really starting to grow. What's this I hear? Footsteps getting near. And my door is open a tad. A hand reaches in and I hear him laughing. That asshole just threw me a urine bag.
What the fuck?
I mean...
I don't even get it. Who handed her a urine bag? Like, what?
I know.
What is going on? And is that what he thinks a catheter is? A urine bag? Is that what he calls it?
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
That was awful. Like, I hate that we're finishing off on that.
Sorry, guys.
Oh wow. Okay, well, this was fun. Sorry, can you finish it up?
Thanks, guys, for coming out. It was a lot of fun tonight. We got to hear a classic call of the Pope therapist telling Lorne like it is. And that's always a good time. Lorne didn't really listen, though. He was more concentrating on talking the whole entire time.
Yep.
Yeah. And we had the chance to listen to some poetry.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm really hoping that I get some poems, you guys.
The address
it's been
is up
more
there.
than 15 minutes. Yeah. So I'm not really sure what's going on here. Maybe there's something wrong with my email, but I'll keep checking.
Tiffany has been checking madly. And
checking, yes.
Getting more and more angry. So please, guys,
right.
for everyone's sake, send her some poems. All right. Thank you, everyone. It's always a lot of fun. Thank you, Tiffany, as always.
Thank
there
you.
Will be a new episode of Kangaroo Court out on Sunday morning, and we will be back on Wednesday next week. So look forward to seeing you all then.
Bye.
Bye.